Hi all, welcome back to our next video. In previous video, we have seen what is deployment.yaml and service.yaml, but I mentioned in last PPT that it was not enough. So in this video, let's try to go in more further details to understand about these two files. So let's start. Okay, then let's come back to our Eclipse to see deployment.yaml, which we have created in our previous video. Now, in deployment.yaml as well as in service.yaml, there are four major elements. First one is API version, kind, metadata, and spec. Similarly, in service as well, API version, kind, metadata, and spec. Now, let's try to explore these four elements. Okay, then let's start with API version. So, what is API version? API version is basically a version of Kubernetes API, and its value is extension slash v1 beta 1. Then kind is nothing but an object you want to create. Now in this case we want to create object of deployment, and in service.yaml we want to create object of service, and that is why in service.yaml the kind is service, and in deployment.yaml kind is deployment. Okay, then metadata. So what is metadata? Metadata that helps uniquely identify the object, including a name string, UID, and optional namespace. Now, in this case, the complete information inside this metadata should identify your object uniquely. Now, let's see the attributes. Its name is Hello World REST API. So, name of this deployment object is Hello World REST API. Then, namespace. In this case, we have not created any namespace. So, the default is assigned to the namespace. But whenever you will work on actual project, different teams will have their different namespace. It is basically used to isolate the deployments. Then labels. Now labels are key value pairs that you can attach to Kubernetes object, example pod, nodes, deployments, and so on. And then you can really identify these objects using selectors. We will see how you can use the label in selectors, or how you can identify these objects in selector. And next important element is spec. The complete information inside this spec is actually the definition of your object. In this case, it is the definition of your deployment. Now you can see inside this spec there is another spec, right? And this is actually a definition of a pod. Now let's try to see the definition of pod first. Then let's try to understand the definition of pod. Now in this case, we are again assigning a label with key as app and value as hello world REST API on pod. Then to deploy our application on pod, we need to have containers. So inside this pod definition, we have the containers array. So you can have multiple containers inside this pod. So as you can see, there is only one container, but it is array. So you can just have the multiple containers. You can just copy it, paste it, and you can create another containers. Now in this case, the image is hello world REST API 1.0.3. Image pool policy is if not present. It can be if not present, or it can be always. So if it is specified if not present, it means if this image is not found locally on Kubernetes, then pull from Docker Hub. Else, if it is always, then it will always pull from Docker Hub. This is the name of the pod, Hello World REST API. Then restart policy always. Now, if the container is stopped because of any reason, it will just keep on trying to get it up. Termination grace period seconds is 30. So when the container is stopped, the container will get 30 seconds to clean up everything. So this was the complete definition of pod. Now let's try to understand other properties of deployment. Inside spec, there is replica 3, where we are specifying that we need 3 number of instances or 3 number of pods for this deployment. Then selectors match labels app hello world REST API. Now as I said, selectors are used to identify Kubernetes object using labels. Now in this case, we are saying match labels app hello world REST API. And if you can see here, we have specified the same label with app hello world REST API on pod. And this is how we can actually map pod with deployment. Then there is another important property, that is a strategy. Now, whenever we will upgrade our application to the newer version, we need to specify this strategy. And inside strategy, we need to set the attributes like max search and max unavailable. Now, let's try to understand what are these two properties. Suppose our total replica we are specifying, for example, now in this case it is 3, but let's say it is 200. Then the maximum unavailable is nothing but a max pods that can be unavailable during the release. So how to calculate it? It's basically 25%. So 25% of this number of replica is equal to 50. So 50 maximum 50 number of pods can be unavailable during this release. Then how to find out max search? Again, for max search we specified 25%. So max search is nothing but a 25% of total number of replicas plus total number of replica is equal to 250. So total 250 maximum number of pods can be available or can be used during release. So this is how we need to identify a particular strategy for our rolling update. So that was all about the deployment.yaml. Now let's try to understand service.yaml. Now as you can see here in service.yaml as well, there are four common fields: API version, kind, metadata, and spec. Now we have seen whatever present inside this spec is actually the definition of that object. So this is actually a definition of service object. Now let's see what is there. First one is the ports. Yes, we need a port details to expose our service. So we have mapped our port details here. Then selector. Now we know for one application there can be number of ports, but to access that application there should be always one service, right? So we need to map service with the port. We should not map service with a deployment. So we need to map this service with a pod having a label with key as app and value as hello world REST API. So let's see if we have pod with the same label name. Yes, here is the label with name, with key as app and value as hello world REST API. And this is how the service is mapped with that particular pod. Then session affinity as none. Now whenever we have to work on web application and where we have to maintain the session, in that case we have to specify a particular value to session affinity. In this case we are not maintaining any session, so its value is null. None. Then type is load balancer. Now we know when we expose our service using kubectl expose command, we use type is load balancer because we need auto scaling facility for our deployment, and that is why type is load balancer. So that was about the service.yaml. This was enough to understand deployment.yaml and service.yaml. But still I would say that is not everything about these two files. In upcoming videos, we will play with these files while doing different hands-on on cluster. Thanks for watching this video. Please like it, subscribe it, and see you in next video. Bye bye.